back at ISTE Live in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's been a great second day of ISTE where we've had a lot of breakout sessions, our art installation right next to registration, and a lot of great Instagram pictures for educators joining in from all around the world. But I'm also really excited to be joined here today with Kristen Brooks, who's a technology specialist at Indian Knoll Elementary, which is part of Cherokee County Schools. So Kristen, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So what's ISTE been? What have been some of the highlights so far?
You know, it's really been so much fun just seeing all of the faces of the educators that I'm friends with, that I haven't seen in a while, and also meeting people that are, I've known on Twitter or other social media, and you kind of want to look at them and like, have I met you in real life? Or
yeah, I know, it's in real life.
So now it is in real life, so it's really exciting just to make those connections and talk about future collaborations together, so it's really been fun.
And it's been really great to see you as well, because I know we've connected virtually for the last 2 years, and now finally in person together. And I know the creativity circuit was last night too. So how did that go?
It was such a great energy in the room. I just loved being a part of that. And just helping other educators figure out their sweet spot in creativity and what brings them joy, and using Adobe Express, using the tools, and kind of walking them through the circuit and creating. And it was just really nice. Sometimes educators, they don't always want to do all of the activities. And so many, I would say most folks that were there went through all three and created all three items. So that was great. I was like, going over there, like doing a little silent cheer.
It was so great to see everyone's headshots and then putting it together in this remixable template that we had. So if you follow along on hashtag Adobe EDU Creative, you can check out all of those templates. And speaking of which, I know you created one, so would love to kind of see more about that.
Actually, I created my Going to ISTE activity and really enjoyed creating this. And it was nice to think back to other ISTE times that I've been here. I've actually been 8 times. So it was really nice to sit there and think, oh, well, who did I meet at this one, and where was the, all of those events taking place, and what am I excited about for being here, and really just to see other educators and talk to them and how they're doing and their families, and just have a chance to collaborate, because when you get educators together, they like to talk about education and what they're doing in their classrooms and things. So yeah, it was really just exciting, and it was fun to make this. And I really felt like social media kind of blew up over these templates, and having just people from all over the ISTE conference creating them, and that was just really neat to see. And check out, like, there was lots of people, I had no idea how many times they had been to ISTE and been a part, so that was really cool.
It's a real history here at ISTE, and being able, as you mentioned, seeing people in real life that you usually connect with online. And I like that you mentioned educators sharing, what's going on in their classrooms, because so many times as teachers, we are, kind of siloed in our classrooms, working with our students, and, rightfully so, focusing on their success. But we don't always get that opportunity to connect with other teachers. So this is such a beautiful learning experience for everyone.
Definitely agree. It's nice. People think, oh, well, y'all just probably talk about other stuff. And I'm like, no, we'll be at dinner, and it always ends up that we're talking about education, which is great. It's a great way to have an enjoyable dinner and then talk about what's going on and how you're going to adjust or redo something, and always making changes, which is good.
Yeah, and speaking of some of those, sharing and resources, I know you've been using Adobe Express quite a bit at Indian Knoll Elementary and Cherokee schools. Can you share a little bit about how you've been using it and how you've been focusing on students' creativity?
Yeah, we really have been enjoying. My students love the fact that there are the templates, because not everybody, people have different levels of creativity, and sometimes being creative is nervous for, different folks. I get nervous sometimes, and I really try to stress in my lab, like, you guys, just because I think the sky is purple or blue, that doesn't mean you have to make it that way. So I want yours to be whatever you want it to be. And I tell them, here's the template. I always create one to show them, because I'm never going to have my students make something or create something I haven't created myself, so that I can give them hints or clues, or know if there's going to be some sort of area that could be troublesome for them, give them an idea of how to fix it, and try to preview what I think they might ask me when it's the lesson. So I showed them mine, but I said, guys, I don't want yours to look a carbon copy of mine. I want you to use it however you want it to be and really remix that template. And then I also say to them, and if templates are not your thing and you just want to go into Adobe Express and find, another background or a whole nother project, you can do that, or start from scratch and just create your own. So it really, I feel like, gives the kids in my room the options of how they feel comfortable. And it's funny, for different assignments, I noticed that different folks will use the different levels. They may not always use the template, but for those who don't, they might use it the next time. So I really feel like it's helpful to them. And I love the fact that it's cross-device friendly, so they also don't have to finish it in my room, because they come to me once a week for about 45 minutes. And some of them, I don't want to limit the creativity. So I'm like, just turn it in sometime within the next week before you come back again, because they can start it in class on an iPad or a Chromebook, and then they can finish it at home on whatever device they have. So that's really wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. And the templates are a great starting off point, so that they can then kind of take that inspiration and take it to the next level, as you said, and great that students can finish that work at home. Yes. And I know we focused a lot on the student side. When it comes to your own joy and creativity and finding that joy, what do you usually focus on?
I really like to, I love color, I love pictures, so a lot of times I will try to find a picture that I've taken, so that it's not, I have the creative license to use it, and that's something that I also love about Adobe with my students and for myself. If I do use some of those beautiful photographs that are in there, they're already free to share and use. So I love that as an educator, creating with thousands of students each week, that I don't have to worry. I know that everything, has been pre-approved for them to use. So, because that's something we really stress at our school. So I love to just use photographs and, put like important phrases or things that are inspirational or meaningful to myself, or something that I think might be meaningful to my students, and just try to create that way, and use it, sometimes in presentations or just whatever strikes me. Sometimes put it on social, so yeah.
Yeah, it's great to get that feedback from peers online, or for also within the school community. So thank you for sharing that with us today. And if those who are tuning in want to get in touch with you or access additional resources, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, definitely on social media. It's just at Kristen Brooks 77, or you can go over to my website, which is kristenbrooks.net.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Kristen, for joining us today and for sharing this with the global Adobe Creative Educator community. And if those who are tuning in, if you would like to create your own template, you can go to adobe.ly/ISTE template to create your own graphic, just like Kristen. But Kristen, thanks again, and I hope you have a great rest of your ISTE.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure being here.
Thank you.